19 to 42 hours, Philippine Sea. The sky was calm. Waves rolled gently beneath the massive silhouette of a U.S. carrier strike group, led by the USS Gerald R. Ford, the most advanced aircraft carrier in American history. Surrounding it were two Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, a Ticonderoga-class cruiser support vessels, and a U.S. fast-attack submarine silently patrolling the deep above. Fighter jets formed protective orbits. On deck, crews maintained readiness. Nothing seemed unusual, but deep beneath the dark water, something was moving fast and unseen. 1949 hours, first contact. Inside the Combat Information Center aboard the USS Lake Erie, the sonar operator leaned forward. A faint acoustic signature had appeared, almost too quiet to matter, but then it repeated. Not random, not natural, consistent, deliberate. He adjusted the filters. The return sharpened and automatically classified. Yasen-Class Nuclear Attack Submarine, Russia. The room went silent. The Yasen-Class wasn't just a submarine, it was one of the quietest hunter-killers on Earth, designed for one purpose: to hunt aircraft carriers. And it wasn't just nearby, it was inside the defensive perimeter, the carrier exclusion zone. 1953 hours, alert transmission. A coded alert sounded through the fleet. Condition amber, subsurface intrusion detected. No alarms blared, no panic, but the posture changed instantly. Flight deck operations slowed. Surface escorts adjusted formation. Anti-submarine helicopters prepared for launch, and below, the U.S. submarine, USS Washington, shifted course. This was no training exercise. This was a direct penetration of a U.S. defensive bubble. 1957 hours, the Russian intent. Thousands of meters below the surface, the Russian submarine Kazan remained silent. No active sonar, no communication, no course correction, just controlled, predatory movement, tracking the carrier like a shadow. Inside Kazan, the Russian captain watched the navigation screen. He knew exactly where he was. He knew the U.S. was now aware. And still, he didn't turn away. This wasn't a mistake. This was a statement. 20:01 hours. Rules of engagement. In the situation room aboard the carrier, a debate began. Should the U.S. force the Russian submarine to surface? Should they deploy warning charges? Should they track or engage? The rules of engagement were clear. No first strike unless hostile intent is confirmed. Intrusion alone is not considered engagement. Tracking and deterrence only. But everyone in that room knew the truth. A Yasen-class submarine doesn't enter a carrier zone by accident. 20:06 hours, countermove. The order was issued. Shadow, pressure, force reposition, no engagement. Immediately. Sonar buoys launched into the water. MH-60R anti-submarine helicopters lifted off. Electronic warfare systems activated. The U.S. fast-attack submarine tightened its pursuit. The hunt was now formal, but Kazan didn't evade. It changed speed, slowly accelerating. A calculated escalation. 20 hours. Message in silence. A second acoustic signature appeared. Not a weapon, not a sonar ping. A pulse, encrypted, patterned, deliberate. Artificial intelligence in the sonar system analyzed it. Identification returned. Russian Naval Challenge Protocol. Subsurface. This was the submarine equivalent of knocking on the front door of a heavily guarded fortress and saying, "We're here. What will you do about it?" 2013 hours. Surface tension builds. On the flight deck, maintenance crews paused to look at the ocean below. They couldn't see the submarine, but everyone felt it. Every carrier sailor knows submarines are ghosts, silent until they choose not to be. And this ghost was moving closer. 16 hours. The U.S. responds. A U.S. destroyer deployed a Mk-54 lightweight torpedo, not to fire, but to track. A message, a response, a line drawn, and deep below, the Russian submarine made its next move. 2018 hours, the turn. Kazan changed direction, not away, not parallel, but directly toward the U.S. carrier. Slow, controlled, intentional. A destroyer captain muttered the words no one wanted to say. This is an attack position. Inside the carrier command center, a final order was prepared. Not yet spoken. Deploy warning charge. 21 hours. Something unexpected. Just as the U.S. prepared to act, a new sonar contact appeared. A third return. Smaller, faster, closing rapidly. Not Russian, not American. Unknown. The operator whispered, "We have another submarine." Silence filled the room. Then he added, "And it's moving toward both of them." 22 hours. 3 contacts. On the tactical display, the 3 sonar signatures moved in chilling silence. Contact 01. The U.S. fast-attack submarine USS Washington. Contact Arrow 2. The Russian Yasen-Class Kazan contact, Earth 3. Unknown. No classification match worldwide. The operators ran comparisons against NATO archives, Russian naval signatures, Chinese submarine profiles, classified acoustic datasets. Nothing matched. The unknown platform was something new, and it was closing fast. 20-25 hours. Brace for encounter. The unknown submarine maneuvered between the US and Russian positions, as if inserting itself into the standoff. The tone in the command center shifted from conflict to uncertainty. The carrier commander issued an urgent order. All escorts tighten formation. Maintain tracking. Do not engage unless engaged upon. Above the waves, 2 MH-60R Seahawk helicopters hovered, sonar dipping into the black water below. Something was happening, and no one knew how it would end. 20-28 hours. First transmission. Suddenly, the unknown submarine transmitted a short underwater burst. Not language, not Morse, something more complex. Artificial intelligence-assisted analysis ran instantly. The pattern resembled quantum handshake encryption, a technology believed to be years from deployment. Everyone watching, she understood the message. This wasn't an accident. This vessel wasn't lost. It was announcing its presence. 20-32 hours. Russia reacts. First, deep below, aboard the Kazan, Russian officers exchanged tense looks. Their captain finally issued a rare directive: shift to defensive posture. Passive tracking only. No approach. For a Russian submarine already inside a US carrier zone, retreat wasn't common. But this wasn't fear. It was recognition. Whatever the unknown contact was, Russia knew something. Something the US didn't. 20-36 hours. US decision point. The US National Military Command Center requested a real-time update. The briefing was short, restrained, and unsettling. Russian submarine intentionally violated carrier space. Unknown third submarine intervened. Unknown text signature detected, intent unclear. A moment later, another classified question appeared on screen. Is this Russian experimental technology? No one could answer. Not yet. Sure. 20-41 hours. The maneuver. Then, the unknown submarine moved. Not slowly, not cautiously, but with surgical precision. It glided under the Kazan, then rose just enough to ping the Russian hull, like a warning tap. Every Russian indicator flashed. Target lock, collision risk, torpedo detection, none. Just proximity. A message in motion. 20-44 hours. Torpedo tubes open. Aboard the Kazan, Russian weapon officers reacted instinctively. Torpedo tubes opened, tracking sonar engaged. Rules of engagement inside submarines are simple. You do not allow another vessel to approach your hull without response. The US detected the change instantly. A coded alert broadcast across the fleet. Russian tubes open, elevated threat. US destroyers armed their Mk-50 and Mk-54 torpedoes. USS Washington acquired firing position. The ocean had become a loaded trap. 20-48 hours, the unknown acts. Before anyone fired, the unknown submarine transmitted a second signal. Louder, clearer, impossible to ignore. Then it powered forward at a speed no submarine should physically achieve. It broke free from tracking range. It vanished. Not slowly, instantly. Gone. Sonar readings scrambled, then flatlined. It was as if the ocean swallowed it whole. 20-50 hours, Russia stands down. Moments after the unknown contact disappeared, the Kazan's torpedo tubes closed. The submarine slowed. Then, it transmitted a message. No encryption, no codename. Plain, deliberate Russian, exercise complete, no hostile intent, returning to patrol. And then, just like the unknown vessel, Kazan began withdrawing. 20-53 hours, U.S. shadow deployment. USS Washington attempted one last reacquisition, scanning a 70-mile radius. No contact, no acoustic return, no thermal signature, nothing. Command issued the final directive: do not pursue. Maintain silent posture, log, and classify. The incident was over, but the questions were just beginning. 21:07 hours, global analysis begins. As encrypted intelligence reports flowed across Allied networks, analysts came to one unsettling possibility. The unknown submarine was not Russian, not American, not Chinese, not any known state. It may have been a new prototype, a black project platform, a next-generation autonomous system, or something none of the strategists could categorize. Every scenario carried implications. None were reassuring. 21:32 hours, final message. Just as the carrier strike group resumed normal operations, an encrypted sonar pulse echoed across the water. Unknown origin. origin. Short, precise, translated through pattern recognition systems into 3 chilling words: not ready yet. No follow-up, no signal. Only the steady hum of ocean silence. The world believed the Russian submarine was the threat, but after tonight, another question now defines the ocean. If Russia entered U.S. waters on purpose, then who entered the ocean for a reason neither nation understands? And if this was a warning, what happens when they're finally ready?